Hi guys, welcome to A Day with Zenler session 2. So we just ran session 1. We covered quite a few different things. If you haven't seen it, watch the replay. And now we're on to Day with Zenler session 2. And this is going to be super cool because I have Kevin in with me. Kevin's in and he's going to be talking about aspects of support. Also, what I just heard before we came on air is Kevin's going to be with us for the whole of this session. So I'd like to welcome Kevin Arrow into the house, one of our educators here at Zenler. Hello, Kevin.
How's it going?
All good, all good. We're all ready.
Yeah.
So
I watched session 1 and it was absolutely amazing. So if any of you missed session 1, go back and watch it. It was awesome, but not now.
Yeah, not now. Pay attention to what's going on now. So Kevin's got a few things to talk about today, and we've also got some recordings that Kevin did as well. And Kevin's here for the whole 2 hours. So it is a fantastic session 2. It's really helpful to have 2 people on, and you're going to notice that we've done more and more of this stuff. We always have now a co-presenter with us to help handle all of the things like the Facebook and the YouTube channel. This is the only one day when I'm still handling things on my own, but not in this session because I've got Kevin here. So what are we talking about today, Kevin? What's going on?
So the first part of this session, we're going to talk about support. So we're going to look at the different aspects of support, where you can get it, how you do it. We're going to get you all involved. So at some point, I'm going to say, right, jump in with us. Right, we're going to have you in here with us. And the reason we're going to have you in here with us is because we've got a little quiz lined up that I've got for you. So we're going to make sure everyone knows what's going on. It's a little bit of fun. And yeah, it's going to be hopefully quite exciting for everyone. The more interactive we can make it, the better. I challenge you to test us today in these 2 hours. It's going to be pretty awesome. And then we're going to look at tips and tricks, right? We're going to look at other bits afterwards. So the first hour is going to be support.
Fantastic. So we got a lot coming up here. So like, especially for you guys that have not been with the platform for very long, it's really important. And Kevin makes a point of this. Every time he runs like things like office hours, he touches on our support. But to be as well supported as Zenler it doesn't happen the way we do it, the way we give you free stuff for everything, the way we run and help you market your courses and have actual people one-to-one sessions or live support desk where you can jump in. It just doesn't happen. Look around for yourself. I'm not saying anything. I'm not bigging up Zenler library of training on everything course creation in the world, I think, and prove me wrong. Tell me if there's one that's more, because there's not.
And I'll add to that, it's free
Training.
We don't charge for the training that we offer. A lot of companies out there will charge you for it, so we don't.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and this is quite we've mentioned this. We've actually said this to Rakesh himself, that we could charge for this. We could put this as a chargeable service, but he's adamant that everything should remain free for all of our users. We know that if we charge, we're going to fill it up, So, but it's all free for you guys. So it's great. It's a great opportunity for you to grab and to be here with Zenler. And we are going to now talk about support. So I'm going to hand over to Kevin. I'm going to do some screen sharing and stuff when he gives me a cue. And I am now Kevin's co-host.
Cool. Thanks, David. So I can't actually see the comments at the moment. So I'm sure comments and questions and stuff will come in. But what I'm going to do is I want to jump those into when we do the live. So when you come on live with us, then 100% you can ask your stuff there, or we'll go through that bit then. But to begin with, let's get into the support side of what we at Zenler offer. And for me, this is such an important thing. It's why I got involved in the education team 5+ years ago. And it's why I continue to get involved. And for some people, it's probably something you've heard me talk about quite a lot. But I'm a firm believer that if you invest in a software, you have to know how to use the software, but more so how to make the software work for your business. And that's really sums up where the education team come into this. Now, as a company, Zenler doesn't just offer educational support, we offer technical support as well, because obviously sometimes there's times where stuff doesn't work. It's a developing platform. You've seen recently we've done lots of feature releases, and sometimes when you've got a big bank of users, lots and lots and lots, tens of thousands of accounts, and you roll out a big update like communities, sometimes stuff doesn't work for all of the users, right? It's just the way that it works with software. Most of the time it goes pretty well, but occasionally it doesn't quite work. So we have a really responsive support team, technical support team as well, that are backing up the software, that are there to help you. Now, the key to this all is knowing where to access it, why, how to access it, and why you want to access certain parts. And one thing that we got really clear on when David and I first started on the education team was there was a massive misunderstanding of what deems a technical support question that goes to the tech heads at Zenler and what is an educational support question, which at that time were going to the tech heads at Zenler, right? So there was a slight frustration within the platform from our side, as in the tech team were getting educational user issues coming through. You as users were putting in educational questions to the tech people and not necessarily getting the type of answer you were looking for. So our role was, right, let's separate this out. Let's help everybody understand what's an educational thing, as in usability of the platform, what buttons to press to make what happen is the basics of it, and what is, I've done this, it's meant to do that, and it doesn't work, which becomes a technical issue, right? And that's sort of where we've gone. Now, over the time, we've built a number of different resources. We've built areas where you can access, and we show you how to access it, why to access it, and in which case to hopefully resolve whatever issue it is that you're finding. Now, I always start off with exactly the same place, because for me, it's probably the single most focused point for support that we offer, both technically and educationally, which is our tutorial site. I got David caught out on that one. He wasn't expecting it. Look at that. So the tutorial site. Now, I say the tutorial site, one, because it has the biggest bank of information that we've got, as in it's got all of our workshops, our trainings, our recordings of lives that we've done. It's got the complete guide to Zenler, the quick start guide. It's got links to our socials. It's got links to support docs. It's got links to YouTube. It literally takes us out everywhere that we need to go. So from this one site, we can literally find everything else that we need. And I think that's what I really love about this site, and why I say to absolutely every member, you really need to make sure that you are in this site. Now, most of you, certainly recently, if you've subscribed to Zenler, which you have, you're here, you'll have been automatically subscribed into us. Well, if it's so great, why are you lot not using it? And to be honest, it's a fair question. It is a very fair question, and we've decided now as an organisation we're making the transition over. It would be silly of us to shut down the Facebook group and say no more, we're not doing it. And literally, you've got a week to come into our community, or we're shutting our group down. We're not going to do that, right? What we are going to do is we're going to start running them parallel to each other. So we'll start using the community that we have in the tutorial site, and David will show us what that looks like in a minute. Which we can access from tutorials. We'll look at the community and we will be able to have discussions in there, conversations in there, and we'll start to look at using it the same way as we use the Facebook group. Now, the one thing that is holding us back slightly on that is we want to be able to live stream into it, and that's coming quite soon. I've spoken to Rakesh, David's spoken to Rakesh. We've said it's an important factor to have in there, but it's not going to stop us using it, because it's such a powerful area that we want to use it, and we want you all to use it to get used to it. Because for those of you running Facebook groups, it's going to become a massive support area for you as well. So that's the heading along the top of the tutorial site. Now, as you go down, you'll see there's a nice little video there that says take a tour of the training hub. So you can watch that if you're new to it. It will just show you around. You can watch that at your leisure, and it will just guide you around what the tutorial site looks like. At some point in the very near future, we'll probably update that video, because as you'll see, tutorials has had a bit of a revamp, so it looks slightly
Enjoy
different
it,
now,
and
but the bones of it
feedback in the
are very
group if
much
you love our
similar.
education training. We
We then
have
go down the page as we
something
move
for
down. We've got
everybody, okay, and
different
it's all
elements that we're looking at.
massive
So
value.
learn
We even give
Zenler and
away
what it can
stuff
do
as
for you.
well.
So we've
We
got a
run
training
live
library in there.
workshops all the time on our Facebook group. So guys, if you haven't seen and been to
And
our
as we
Facebook
scroll down
group,
the page a
somewhere where you
little
need to go
further,
to.
we can see that we've
Absolutely,
now
it's
started
gold dust
separating
because
things
people
out.
help each
So
other.
we've got a
You
marketing
find out
area,
what
we've
the
got
platform's
live,
all
and we've got
about,
everything else.
and
And
it's
these are
really, really
workshops
good
that
place
we've
to hang out. So if you've
produced.
not been to our
So the Learn
Facebook
Zenler
group,
one, if
please
you
make.
click on the Learn Zenler and the CA training library, David, if you could click on that, you'll see this is one of the most important educational areas that we have. So rather than logging in and going through the panel and looking at my things and all this, that and the other, we've made it really, really easy for you to get started from an educational point of view to use the platform. And this is the quick start guide with the quick start guide checklist. So if you go through that, David works at a speed of knots, we know that. When I said to him, how long do you think it will take to go through it? He said 2 hours. So I'm estimating most people that are not superhuman like David, it will take probably 4. Okay. So go through that. But the point of the quick start guide is it gets you familiar with the platform, understanding some of the basics of how it operates, get your course put together, and get some of the one and done, what I call one and done stuff implemented. So going through some of the branding aspects and things like that you only need to do once per site. Once it's done, you ain't got to really go back to it unless you're making major changes to your brand or your Stripe integration or anything like that. So that's really a critical part of you having success within Zenler. Most questions that we get come in to the education team, we hear from people that have not been through that guide. And we always say to them, go back through the quick start guide because it will answer that question. It will show you how to do that. And it will give you a really strong foundation. Now, once you've been through the quick start guide, just underneath that, you'll see the complete guide to Zenler. This literally covers everything in Zenler. Now, we keep it as up to date as possible. Obviously, as you can imagine, there are things that have come in that we've got other videos on YouTube that cover the new bits. But the basis of everything else is in the complete guide to Zenler. And if you click onto that, you can quite happily go in. You'll see it's a massive course, right? Because there's a lot that you can do within this platform. There's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, right? Now, the way that you operate the complete guide to Zenler is really straightforward. You don't start at the beginning and work your way down because that's just insane. It just doesn't work. Now, we do have a quick find highlighter, as you can see there, and you can just type something in, like David's typing in marketing, funnel, click OK, and it will then highlight the elements, I hope, that have anything to do with, there we go, the marketing funnel. And it's a good way. So if you was to type in, you can see it's highlighted very clearly what it is. You could type in things like blog, and it will show you all of the lessons we've got to do with blogging. You could type in videos, and it will have everything there to do with videos. So it's a really good way of filtering through exactly what you're looking for within the complete guide to Zenler. So it's been separated out anyway. So you can actually, as you scroll through, you can see each block is each module. So it's quite clear to look at anyway, but we've just tried to make it super simple because it can feel a tad overwhelming if you're scrolling through all that and going, oh my gosh, where do I start? There seems to be a real lot going on there. And that might not make you feel comfortable. So I'd say use the quick highlighter. Once you've done the quick start guide, go, right, my next task is, right, I want to set up my blog. So I would go to quick find highlighter, I'd type in blog, and then it would highlight everything to do with the blog on Zenler. And that would then mean we haven't got to go through and try and find it ourselves. So they're the 3 things really on the tutorial site that are really, really, really super important. They should, the complete guide, once you've done the quick start guide, should be your go-to thing if you ever have a question about how Zenler works as a platform. Now, as we go further down, you'll see there's lots of other things that we've done. We've done lots of workshops over the years There's lots of workshops on marketing, sales, emails. We've done launching your first course. We've done email sequences. We've done funnel workshops. We've done all sorts of things. And then we've done what we call everything else. And everything else is the stuff that doesn't really fit into really sort of a category. It's stuff like David's ninja tricks, where he does hacking about with bits of code. There's look at people. One of the ones which is quite interesting is the hardware setup that David has. So the hardware and software setup. So if you're struggling to make the system work properly for you, or you're recording courses or stuff like that, it's not quite working, go into that and it will show you exactly what David's setup is and how he operates. So it could give you a base level for how to actually get your system set up so you can do the professional level quality type of stuff that we do. And it's really easy to follow. None of the stuff that we do is particularly difficult. So we're just seeing an example of that here now. So there's lots there to go through, and I'd say go through that when you get a chance, right? Because look at that. I mean, that's what a lovely little image there. They're not things that are going to stop you progressing, but they're things that are going to help you level up what you do. And I think that's really important. The advanced ninja tricks, I stay well away from those because me and code don't work well together. But if that's your thing and you want to start messing about in there, there's some stuff in there that you might find useful. David likes to dabble with stuff like that and push the boundaries of the platform. But remember, if you break it, that's on you. And as we know, you can add code into stuff and it can make stuff go a little bit wobbly. So be cautious if you're not quite sure what you're doing on that front. So back to the home page of the tutorials. If we go right down to the bottom now of the home page, I'm not going to go through every page on the tutorials because a lot of you get it. This is the logged out page, by the way. We do have links through to another area of support that we offer, which is our demo and onboarding sessions. So our demo is for people that haven't really got an account with Zenler. They've not really looked at it, or they're looking to maybe upgrade and they're not quite sure what an upgrade looks like for them. As in what extra do you get from a free account or no account to an upgraded account. And in the live demo, we're running them as small groups now. You'll find that, and it's live, one of the educators will go through with you exactly what the capabilities of Zenler as a platform is. So it will go from free account all the way through to premium account, and what's involved in all of that. We'll share all of the resources for you, so you can understand and make an informed decision as to, do you want to try the free plan, give it a go, see what it's about, see if you like it, or do you want to jump straight in and get the pro or premium plan because actually you're on an accelerated path and you want to move forward. So that's what the demo webinar was about. We also do the onboarding. Now, the onboarding is a one-to-one session. So there's only one person on with one of our educators. It lasts around about 25 minutes. And the purpose of the onboarding is this is for people that have gone from either a free account or no account directly to a paid for account. So that's pro or premium. And the purpose of this is normally to show you what the upgraded features are. So you've got a free account, which is the way most people come in because they want to test it. You've upgraded, you've paid your money, what now? And we will take you through initially. These are now the paid for features you have access to, things like community, things like lives, stuff like that, and how that works for you. And then we'll have a few minutes at the end for any particular questions you've got on that. So it's another great area of support that's available weekly for you to be able to get involved in. What I will mention, and I do mention it to everybody, because lots of people like to talk about Zenler positively and say, you know, Zenler's a really great platform, you know, and you want to introduce people to it. You can absolutely introduce people into the demo webinar. So you don't have to really explain what Zenler's about. We've got a video on YouTube and we'll show you our YouTube channel in a minute on how you can wrap your partner link round an onboarding session, a demo session. So it will attribute you, if they sign up for an account, it will attribute your partner account. So let us do the heavy lifting on that for you and walk people through it that you want to introduce to the platform, and the team are there to help and support that to happen. So you haven't got to worry about it. So that's the support. We also have live support. So the live support desk is educationally wise. It's where we run on between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. every Thursday. And we have an educator there live to answer any of your questions that comes straight through. So if you've got a question on how to use the platform, how can I want to try and set this up, what are the steps I need to take in the platform, those types of questions, that's exactly the place you need to be. So you can come onto the live call. So we won't allow you to share your screen because of data issues and privacy issues. So you need to be able to explain what it is you're trying to do, and then we will help you work out a plan on how to achieve whatever that goal is. And we do that live. Now, if we can't assist you live, or it's a training you need to take, we'll either direct you to the training. It might be a YouTube video that we've done. We do that a lot. We direct people to a lot of the YouTube videos that we've done because they're really super specific. Or we'll take you to an area in the complete guide to Zenler that will show you exactly what you need. Or if it's really specific, we'll just run through it with you there and then. If it's really, really complicated and we need to go off and think about it and work it out, then we'll say, right, we'll come back to you after the live session. We'll put it into Facebook and then we'll tag you in so you can see the reply to that. So that's how the live support desk works. At the moment, it runs once a week, and it is truly live. So go along, and if you've got questions like that, go and test out my mate who tends to run that, and she'll really enjoy to do that. Our blog has been running for a while now. So our blog does showcase a lot of the different areas that we have available. So we tend to go through things like the Black Friday sales we just went through. That was a workshop that we ran towards the end of last year. So for Black Friday, and we tend to go through the live tour of Zenler, for example, is there as well. And what we do is we write a really in-depth blog post on it, and we use it so people can see a lot of the information in one place. So it's a really nice place to go through. If you're a reader, it's a really good place to be. And we do get people that say, look, I just want to read stuff rather than just watch videos. So the blog is ideal for that because that's what it's all set up for. And you can see lots of information in there, covers lots of aspects of what you can do within Zenler, what's possible, and everything in between. So it's a really decent place to go and have a read up of stuff. Look, we've got videos in there as well. So if you've not explored the blog yet, go and explore the blog because it's a really valuable area that we often don't talk too much about, but it is a form of support because it's educating you on more possibilities within the platform and what's available to you. So go and have a look there. And as Dave is showing here, there's all sorts of categories that you can go through. Jump in if you're looking for something specific, then so there's a guest post one there. If you clicked on that, it would show us anything that we've done that's tagged up as guest posts. So there you go, lots of people that have contributed into the blog itself. Okay, so that's the blog. Now, let's get into the socials. So we've got two main social areas. So the first one that we've got is our YouTube channel. So we'll have a look at our YouTube channel in a second. Now, our YouTube channel is really important because on our YouTube channel, we tend to have things covered that aren't covered anywhere else. So what I mean by that is the very first playlist that we have is our feature releases. So our feature releases are, we do a feature release, we do a very specific video on it. And what we'll do is we'll post that into the Facebook group, we'll mark it as featured, and then we put it onto our YouTube channel. Now, it's far easier to find in date order our feature releases on YouTube than it is anywhere else. Because as you can see, they're in order. It will show you exactly what we've done and when it was done, because it's all dated within a month ago, 2 months, whatever it is. So it's really a super fast way to find that. Then those videos don't go into the tutorial site. So this is why it's really important. So if you've been away from the platform for a while, you know, you've been away 3 or 6 months and you're going, oh, I wonder if they've released this feature yet or not. You can head to YouTube, go and have a look in the top playlist. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, you can pretty much guarantee it's not been released yet. As we work down, you'll see we've started adding workshops in. So tours and the workshops there for your convenience. You can watch that as you go through. We've got office hours starting to go in now. The reason office hours is going in is because Facebook are deleting our lives out. And it's a bit of a pain. But you know what? It just means we have to up our game, and we're going to start now putting them into YouTube as well for people. Now, what I really like about YouTube having office hours on there is we can put our chapter marks in there. So just underneath the description of the video, you can see that we've got chapter marks. So if there's an element there that you like the look of, then so if you look at the join Zenler Instagram, then you could just click on that bit. It will jump onto the video and you can just watch that one bit. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. So it makes it really super speedy to find what you want. Now, when we go back to the main playlist, the main list on YouTube. So if we come out of that particular one, go down, you see we've got our shorts there. Now, if we scroll up a bit, the great thing, another really good thing about YouTube is our playlists are not the only way that we can find videos. So if we click on the videos, so we're on home at the moment. If we click on the videos, you'll see that we've got loads and loads and loads and loads. I think there's about 1,400 videos in our YouTube channel. Now, we can use YouTube just like we do with the Complete Guide to Zenler. We can do a search. So if we have been to the Complete Guide to Zenler and we can't find an answer, let's use blog as an example, and we can't find the answer on blogging that we're looking for, we can come to the YouTube channel, we can go to videos, click on search, and then we can type in blog, and it will bring up every video we've ever done that mentions anything to do with a blog. Okay, and generally it'll be about our blog or blogging challenge or whatever it is. And you can scroll through and then you can watch. There's some Ask Zenlers there from a while back. Now they may be helpful. We don't know, but there's lots and lots of videos there that will come up that have been produced by the Zenler team that will help you out. If you look at community, you'll see anywhere where we've mentioned community. So I even must have mentioned it in office hours that one time because it's come up now. We've got a day with Zenler. That's mentioned it as well, community. So there's lots of opportunity to find out more information of what you're looking for. And this is all part of the educational support that we offer. We'll start to build our own one, and how that will affect the Facebook one or not, I don't know. But, you know, we'll just see how time goes on by that. But for now, the Facebook community is a really awesome resource for you. Now, I'd say the single most important part on the Facebook community is the event area, because the event area shows you exactly what lives are going on and when they're going on, and it does it in your time. So wherever you are in the world, if you're thinking, when are they running the next day with Zenler? When are the sessions running? What time? And you haven't got to convert it into different times. If you go to a sales page, right, yeah, we put the world time buddy clock on there and all of that. But ultimately, you've got to sit there and do a little bit of thinking about it.
Sorry, Rakesh. Sorry, Kevin. I just need to interrupt you slightly. There's obviously been some sort of technical hitch because the screen's not sharing. So you've been talking. It's my fault. I didn't check. But
okay.
Don't worry, guys. Like Kevin's talking about it. Do you want to come on camera, Kevin?
Yep.
Carry on talking about it. I'll edit that and put that screen share in. I'm not sure why it hasn't gone across on YouTube. It should be fine on OBS on YouTube, but on Facebook it's not showing. So now it's popped up. So
I can see it.
Crazy. Yeah, it's popped up now. It was black before. So I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of strange, but you can keep your camera on because I'm just going to pin it. We're good.
No worries. So the Facebook events area is really a good place to be, because it will tell you from an educational team's point of view as to what lives we've got coming up, what events are coming up, and where you can join them in your own time zone. So that's really important. The second area on the Facebook group that's important is the featured tab. So along the top, when you log into Facebook, you'll see there's an area called featured. Now, the only people that are allowed to feature things are the team. So we will feature things that we deem to be important for you. So remember as well, live videos will disappear from now. So we're looking at that and how we're going to manage all of that going forward. But for now, if we do a live like this, we're going to go in, someone's going to feature it, and we're going to pin it, and it's going to be there for people to be able to see. So if you want to come in, you haven't been in the Facebook group for a while and you're going, right, what's been going on? What have I missed? The featured areas where you need to scroll through first, because that's stuff only from Zenler and the team, and it means that you can watch that and you can just pick and choose which bits you want to see. I tend to keep that quite clean, so it doesn't go on for years and years and years. I clean it out frequently, so there's a lot of up-to-date information in there. So that's a really good place to be. And the last area is, of course, within the whole feed itself, we've got a huge amount of experienced Zenler users. And the chances are the question you have, or the thing that you want answered, has probably been asked before. Now, just like in the complete guide and just like on YouTube, there is a search function within a Facebook group. So you can go in, you can type in like a keyword or something like that, and then you can see whether it's what type of questions have been asked by people within the community before. Now, the only caveat that it gives me the results. So they're not necessarily, you might get an answer from 2024 December, and then the next answer's from February 2019 or something ridiculous. So you just got to be careful as to, what the dates, look at the dates on it, because what the answer was then, it may have changed because the platforms move forward. So that is a nice area to go and look at. David, are you still with us?
I'm still here, Kevin.
Okay, cool. So that's the educational support side. Now, and I'm aware that I'm up to 30 minutes already, and all I've talked about is education. So I want to go over technical, right? And I'm going to zip over technical real swift. There are two ways to get hold of technical support. So we've got our support docs area, and within support docs, and we can access this from the tutorial site, there is a link there where you can search all of the different support docs. Now, they're slightly different to the complete guide to Zenler, so you might want to go over there and have a look. But within there, the very first tab you'll come to is technical support. And it will give you the option there to either, would you like to email in to support to get help, or would you like to submit a ticket through that platform? And you can do whichever one you feel most comfortable with. Now, we will run through with you some troubleshooting techniques. So, before you contact us, have you done these few things? Because they're quite basic, really easy to do. If you've done it and you still are presented with a technical problem, as in something isn't working as it should, you've gone through the educational areas, you've made sure you've done it right, but it's still not doing what it's meant to be doing, i.e. you've tried to put a block in and it won't save that block, and you've tried 5 times and it's just deleting it out. You've come out, you've cleared your cache, gone to a new browser, logged in, logged out, all of the things we suggest. You've gone back in, tried to do it again, it's still not saving. This is an example. That to me would be a technical support question, because there's something clearly not right. So you would then be prompted to go, please do a video recording, use Loom or another asset that you've got that can do video recordings, fill out the form or send an email to support@zenler.com, and then send that over to us, and then we'll deal with that. You will always get a ticket number come back either way, whichever way you go, you'll get a ticket number come back into your email, and that means that it's been received. If you don't get a ticket number come back within, let's set a benchmark of 5 minutes maximum, check your spam, then you need to resubmit it because for some reason it's not been received. Okay. I don't think I've heard of one case in 5 years where they've tried to submit it multiple times and it hasn't gone through. And the reason being was they were actually typing the wrong email address in for themselves. So it was sending a ticket back to an address that didn't exist. Anyway, so that could be another reason. Just check that you're putting the correct email address in on the form if you're filling the form out, right? So once that comes back, you just leave it with them and they'll get on with it and they'll deal with it. But we're going to run through in a minute because I've got one more area to show you, and that's going to be office hours that we run each week. After that, we're going to go, right, we're going to do cameras open. We're going to get everybody on Zoom. I don't even know if anybody's watching this far. Hopefully we've got people in and watching. And then we're going to do a little quiz, right? And the quiz is going to get you thinking about a couple of things. So, and I want full participation in this because it's going to be awesome. So the last area that we want to show you is office hours, which runs weekly. It's run weekly for 5 years, right? So that's a lot of shows. I was adding it up the other day and I was thinking it's well over 250 shows we've done of office hours, right? It's got to be because I've not missed a week, I don't think. So we've done a lot of these over the years and it's evolved, but it serves a very specific purpose for being there. And I've done a quick video for you to watch so you can understand exactly why do we do office hours, what's the benefit for you, and you know, why go along. So I'm going to say cue the video.
All right, we're queuing the video. Right, Kevin's going to turn this up, right, because I mean, like, and to Facebook. So technically, there's a little bit of juggling around. Like, if stuff's missing from any of the feeds, then it will be edited back in and put up. So, but hopefully everything should run smoothly now. This is the thing. This is why I run it on my own to start with, because then it's in control. When you've got another feed coming in, it makes it technically a lot harder. But as Kevin mentioned, and we're going to run the office hours stream now.
Hi everyone, Kevin here. Hi everyone, Kevin here, educator at Zenler, and in this particular, we're going to be talking about office hours and what office hours means, what it's about, and everything else. Now, I've got a small presentation to show you just as we go through. Just keeps me on track, knowing that we're covering everything that we need to cover because it's a really important part of what we do here at Zenler. So allow me to just show you my presentation and we'll go through this right now. So here we go. What is office hours? So office hours is a weekly live show that we run. We decided to run this when we first became educators here at Zenler, and we found that we wanted to have something that our members could rely on, that knew it would be there every week. We run a lot of live sessions and we run workshops, we run day with Zenler, we run all sorts of things, and we didn't have something that we thought actually we can do this every single week. And we used to run it on a set day. That's changed now to try and incorporate more people into it. But we now run it, it could be any day of the week and it could be any time during any day of the week. But what is guaranteed is that it will run every single week. And it has done so for 5 years and it will continue to do so because it's really important for us. So where does office hours fit in? So within office hours, its format has evolved over the years. Now, we do something that's so important for the people that do find it and come along. So the first thing is we look at support elements. So every week we tend to cover an area of support that will help you as a Zenler user. Now, that could be anything from educational support. So we might go through the quick start guide. We might go through the complete guide to Zenler. We might go through showing you where some of the workshops are. Or it could be technical support where we might go through looking at different areas of support that you can get. So the technical support, how can you put a ticket in? How can you solve certain issues that you commonly come up against? How can you email into support and what to expect and how to do it the right way? And this is a really important part because there's a lot that we cover within not only the technical support but the educational support. It's become quite a big thing, and we like to each week, we don't go through the whole thing every week because that would drive everybody insane. What we do is we pick apart and then we go, right, we're going to focus on emailing into support. When do you need to do it? How do you do it? How do you prepare for it? And what can you expect once you've emailed in? how does that work from a Zenler point of view, and how does that issue get resolved for you? So that could be an example of one on how we operate that. The next part of office hours is we look at a part of the platform. So recently we looked at sister emails as an example. So lots of people come into the platform. We add in new elements to features. We add bits in. We've done it on communities. We released a big community update recently. We're now adding in extra bits to it as we go along. And sometimes these extras get missed. So we tend to pick an element within the platform and just we'll share our screen and show you exactly how it works, where to find it, why it's important, what it does in the system, and how you can either adapt it or use it or implement it within what it is that you're doing. And this is really important. And lots of people tend to say, come back to us and say, I didn't know that that existed. I didn't know that was there. I'd overlooked that when I went through the quick start guide, and I meant to go back to it and I didn't. Or that's a new thing. I'd had all my sites set up for the last 3 years. I didn't know that that had been released because they've missed the feature release for some reason. And that's absolutely fine. That's why we're here, to make sure everybody is in, and both of these elements are really talking about being informed as much as possible as you can be, so you can use the platform effectively. You don't waste your time. You don't go hunting around for stuff that you don't know what's there. You can use the system to its full potential, as in if there's elements in there that you're not using. So as an example, we looked at the abandoned cart email recently, and that was an update that went in last year, and lots of people don't know it's there. You have to switch it on, and then you have to edit what it is and set the time as to when that will deploy. How does it work? Why is it there? What's it going to do for my business? And we cover things like that. So the platform snippets is a really good part of office hours to really help people understand the platform more, get a little bit deeper in. It's not like a workshop. They're normally only sort of 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes long. So they're really tight, small. That's why I've called it a snippet. It's a snippet, a snapshot, a small element of the platform that you can just go quickly and implement and do it there and then, and that's it, and it's done. We then obviously have our Q&A. Q&As are important to us. We do run multiple things throughout the month where you can come into the team and ask us questions. If we've got the answer for you there and then, we'll give you the answer there and then. If we don't have the answer there and then we'll always come back to you and tag you or put it underneath that particular video. This is really important because this allows the education team to develop. So if people are often asking the same question, it means either we've not made it obvious where you can get that answer, or the answer we've given isn't actually solving the question that you've got. So we'll go off and we'll redo it. So the Q&A elements are really important, as in how we help you more, but you also help us evolve the educational side of Zenler. So everything we tend to do is always has a Q&A bit in it, just so we know you've fully got what we're talking about, you fully understand things. And if you've got questions, and it doesn't matter if it's your first day with Zenler or your 1000th day with Zenler, it makes no difference. A question is a question, and it's important to you. So we'll sit there and we'll listen and we'll help where we possibly can. So what else do we cover? Feature releases often come into office hours, where Rakesh will come in and he will talk about what that release is. He'll show us, he'll walk us through it. We'll get to see and understand how it can be implemented and how it benefits us as course creators, the platform that you're using, the Zenler platform that you're using. We have done interviews in the past, and maybe that's something we'll bring back, having people come on just to interview them quickly, just to talk about what they're achieving within Zenler. And this is a really nice one because we get to hear from real life users that are using the platform, making money, serving their clients, educating their people as instructors, and helping people all the way through. So interviews are there. We talk about upcoming events and workshops. We run a lot of events and a lot of workshops throughout the course of the year here at Zenler, and it's really important that we try and get as many people to know about them as possible, so we don't ever get that, I didn't know that was going on, I didn't know that was happening. So we do have a little process that we work through. We do a little countdown in the group with upcoming workshops. So when we're a few days away from it going live, because all of our workshops are run live, we'll do a little countdown in the group. We'll maybe send an email or two. We'll mention it in a couple of weeks in the lead up in office hours. We'll come on and do a couple of lives in the group as well, just to let people know. So as much as possible, we use office hours specifically to tell people there's an upcoming workshop or we've got special events. So things like a day with Zenler, when that's coming up. We won't tell you on the 1st of the month, but coming into the last week or two of the month, we'll remind you it's coming up for the last Friday of the month and it's a day with Zenler's happening, or the live support desk, for example, when that's happening, because it's easy with everything going on. We like to think that your only focus is on Zenler, but of course you have students to look after, you've got your business development, you're probably out there doing marketing in different areas. So Zenler may not be the place you focus 100% of your attention on, which is fine. So our job is to make sure that you know these things exist, how to get hold of them, how to get involved if you want to, and how it can work for your business. So we do this because we want you to have a direct connection to Zenler and the education team. And this is really important for us, having that community engagement, having that availability of us as educators for you, the users, to come in and know, actually, I wanted to chat with a Zenler educator. Oh, it's Friday and I've just missed the live support desk. When's office hours on? Oh, it's on Tuesday. Great. I'll jump in on Tuesday with them. So you tend to find there's times throughout the week where you can get hold of us. And this is really important. We like to get to know the people using the platform. It's not a faceless company, and we want you to feel part of an engaged community. And the reason we do this is because we want you to be heard. We want you to have a voice within what we're doing here at Zenler. And that's really important, because having a voice means that you help us develop how this software will evolve. And we have processes for that. But if we keep getting people coming onto the live saying it'll be really great to have this or that or this or that, and the community feature is a really good example of that, where for about a year, maybe a year and a half, people were saying, we love the idea of a community in Zenler. We want to get them off of Facebook, but your community isn't really up to what we're looking for. Here's what we want. And over time, you all came in in different ways and said, this is what we're looking for. You helped shape how the new community feature looked and its functionality. And that's what we mean by you getting heard. It's really important for us that happens and continues to happen, which is why we put so much time and effort into having the Q&As, having office hours, having the live support desk, having the workshops, having the day with Zenlers, having all of these things where we can directly, it's not us blasting at you, it's us having a conversation, us backwards and forwards in, you get to know us, we get to know you. And that's really, really important. That's probably one of the higher priorities for the Zenler education team here, to really get to understand the struggles you have in your course creation business and what it is that you need help and support with, and maybe what features you're looking for in the future. And we can't guarantee they'll come through, but office hours is a great place for you to have that voice. I've just started to introduce a weekly challenge, should you wish to accept. It's Mission Possible, not Mission Impossible. I'm actually calling it that, Mission Possible, because I'm going to start giving you very, very small things to do on office hours. So, for example, we went through the system emails in the most recent office hours. My challenge, should you wish to accept, and some most certainly did, was just go in and do the abandoned cart email, switch it on and set that up. And that led to people going, I can do that. That's really easy. And then they went off and did all of the other ones, which was absolutely fantastic. So there'll be a weekly challenge, Mission Possible, I'm calling it. And that's what it's going to be. And it will be really exciting to see you all get involved in that and do more as we go through. Now, obviously, office hours, how do you know when it's going to be if it changes every single week? Well, if you go into the events area on Facebook, so go into the Facebook group, the Zenler official Facebook group, along the top, go to event, and it will show you upcoming events and past events, and you'll see something that looks similar to this. And what it will do, and the great thing about Facebook is we don't need to write down all of the different time zones or anything like that. It will convert it to your time zone. So if we're running it at 6 p.m. GMT one week, and you're in Brazil, or you're in Finland, or you're in New Zealand, and we get people all around the world, don't get me wrong. When you log in, it will go, right, this is 10 a.m. for us, because you don't care what my time is. All you care about is your time. Can you go? Are you available? So they're all listed down there, along with all of the other live events that we run. And that's really important. The next thing is, obviously, Facebook's changed now. Our lives that we do, and we won't stop doing the lives because it's that important. But after 30 days, they're kicking out our videos. They're saying, right, we're not hosting them anymore. They're gone. So what are we going to be doing with these? So office hours is now going to be the replays of office hours. Once we've done the live will always be in Facebook. The replay will then go onto YouTube, and we've got its own playlist. And this is the playlist that we've got. So you can see we've just started populating them. They're all current up-to-date ones. Nothing predates the Christmas special that we did in 2024. That's the first one. And we put that one in because of the big community feature release, which was really important. But after that, it's every single one from this year. So there's a weekly list of them going in, and the team are doing a great job at getting them in there and making sure that they're available to you. So you can go back. Now, the question I hear you all ask is, well, I don't really have time to sit through 33 minutes, 25 minutes, 40 minutes of what's going on without knowing what I'm looking for. And this is where this bit comes in, and this is really important. So we've put chapters within office hours because, as you see, we have segments. So in here, we've got, right, you can jump to, if you want to find out more about support, you can click on where it says support, how to get the right help, and it will jump you through the video to that part. If you want to look at the broadcast emails, etc., you can click there and it will jump to 11 minutes in. So you haven't got to scroll through office hours. You haven't got to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. You can literally go into each office hours and go, that looks interesting. I'm going to click on that. It will take you straight to that part of it and you can watch it from there. And that's how it's going to be going forward. Now, that doesn't replace the live element, because the live element of what we do in office hours is absolutely critical for all of the reasons that I've mentioned before. And it's been really, really good. What it will do, though, is for those of you that can't attend that week, or you want to catch up, or you want to see what were they talking about this week, then you can go into YouTube. It's normally a little while after. I wouldn't say it's the same day. It'll be as soon as the team can get it together. I've processed the video and sent it over to them to get it uploaded onto YouTube. After, it might be a bit longer than that, but they'll certainly go in there. And you can watch these at your leisure. And that really will give you a very up-to-date look at what's going on within Zenler, what's going on from an educational point of view, and what's going on from a platform point of view. So out of everything we do, it will be, I think, the single most up-to-date thing for events and upcoming events and all of that. So just keep your eye on the date of it. So this one, my example here is from the 16th of January. So upcoming events, they've probably been and gone. So you might just want to look at the bit that says, oh, support, how do I get that type of support? Or I'm looking for stuff with emails. I'm going to just jump in there. And going forward, we're going to have little each week. This is specific for office hours. We're not going to use that phrase anywhere else. And we're going to make sure that you can achieve those. So look out for that. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to just stop sharing now. Come back on to you and just remind you that office hours, it is a really engaging place to be. We will sometimes let everyone tag people just to make people aware, because Facebook's organic reach can be a bit rubbish at times, but we won't do it all of the time because it can be a little aggravating. We know that, but we do it if there's an office hours with something really important in, then we'll do it. We did it this week because David Zenler's back after a year and a bit. So we're like, actually, we want to promote that office. David Zenler is back, so we're going to tag everybody in it because it's an important one. It's going to be gone in a few days, and therefore we want to notify everyone. We didn't do it in the last few office hours because we didn't need to. There was important stuff going on, but not that high level of importance. And that's where we start to look at really using that feature. And as you'll know, for those of you that have been in the group for long enough, will know we use it very, very sparingly. So that's a quick look around office hours and weekly live stream show. I'm the host of office hours. I've hosted it for 5 years. We've not missed a heartbeat on that one, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really proud of that. We must be coming up for our 200 or 300 show by now. I'll have to have a look because that would be one worth celebrating. But I host it every week. I sometimes have some of the team on with me. Sometimes I'm on my own and we're going through what we need to go through. But I guarantee you, office hours will be there each and every week for you, for your use. Do come along and support it. It's a great place to be. And I look forward to seeing you on the very next office hours live. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day with Zenler, and I'll catch up with you real soon.
So there you go. You've got Kevin there talking about office hours. Kevin is with us as well. So Kevin, do you want to pop back? Hello.
I'm here. Look, I changed really quickly.
Magic. It is magic. We did a bit of a pre-recording. So for you guys to know, it's just, it's good for you to know that you can actually do, like if you're doing these really long lives, it's really important that you plan things so that it makes it easier for you. And by doing little pre-recorded snippets, you can really just take a little bit of pressure off yourself, especially if you're running single-handedly. Now, if Kevin didn't come in, I could still play that video for you guys, and it means that I can just take a little bit of a breather. I've got Kevin in, so it's looking that the actual live stream looks a little bit more dynamic, and you can set up series of these to run. So you can run in live, and then you can run a tutorial, and then you can come in live afterwards and ask people's questions about it. So it's just a way of thinking. When we do these lives in Zenler, we tend to tell you what we're doing. We tell you how we run things. We've done workshops on workshops, and it's important that you understand the flexibility. Everything we do through the Zenler platform. Okay, so I'm using OBS to do special effects and things like that. It's all still running through Zoom. And you can still use Zoom, the Zenler Zoom, and you can hook into it and multi-stream to multiple places. So it's important for you guys to know, because we were talking about it earlier, and it's shouting about your courses or what you're doing. And if you're hanging around just in one place, you may be missing out on opportunities in other places, such as YouTube. Yeah. So just think about that. So that was amazing, Kevin, all that stuff on the support. I know we're not so that was amazing, Kevin, all that stuff on the support. I know we're not finished yet because we've still got some bits to do. Are we going to let the masses in?
Yeah, if there's people that want to jump in, if we can share the link, then they can jump in. That's absolutely fine. We're going to do a little bit of a quiz. And the quiz is going to be really, really simple, because one of the things that we really like to do is if we're doing our job right, you lot should score 100% on this quiz, right? That's it. Now, the idea of the quiz is really, really simple. It's I've put together a question or a statement or a scenario, and it's where does this fit? Is this an educational question? Is it a technical support question, or other? Right? Because I like to add or other in, because why not, right? Not that there's really any other choice, but we can have it as an option, can't we? So that's what we're going to run through very quickly now, and then we're going to get on to the second part of this segment, where we go through some other tips and tricks and stuff. Though I have slightly overrun, so I do apologise. But when you get me going on support stuff, I just don't shut up, because it is important. It really, I can't stress. If you always know when you're struggling and there's no support, right? How difficult that is to achieve anything. And I'm really proud of the education team and what's been built for Zenler. Not because I'm part of it, but because I see it from a user's point of view, that there's pretty much everything you could ever want is available. So I think that's really important. So I don't know who's coming on live with us. People can come on if they wish. It's completely up to them.
We've got Barbara. Barbara's in the house. Shall I open? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to turn video and audio on, or
yeah, why not?
All right, you'll just doing it by the seat of your pants, aren't you? That's
Let's
how
just
you
do it.
run.
Let's just roll with it, right?
Right. Be I should show in Facebook. I hope technically we're live. Anything could happen. Let's flick it across to your screen share.
Right, so we can get off of that one. If we go on to the first one, so there's only 13 of these. They're really easy. I think they're really easy. I've thrown a couple of trick ones in there for you just to um, see what's going on. So these are either questions that have been asked to us or have come into the Facebook group or have been put over to support. So the question is this a support question, educational or other? And you've got to put your answers in the chat. You can do it in Zoom or you can do it in Facebook if you're looking. So I can't log into my Zenler site. So is that a technical support question, an educational support question, or other? I should have had some music, shouldn't I?
I think you should have really, you know. No, that's good. So I can't log into my site. Well, we got Barbara in. She's definitely going to give us an answer. Barbara, what have you
Oh,
written?
we're all looking at you.
Oh, she's looking at you. You're the only one in there. Give us an answer. I can't log into my Zenler site.
Right, David, what do you reckon that is?
Well, you know, technical. If you know, it's different. If your login screen has disappeared and you can't log in, you can't see it. It's going to be because you've done something. Now, if you can't log in, you're not going to be able to get in without technical support. So it's going to be technical support question. But on the flip side of it, if you're going to the wrong URL, or you are not, or you're using a different email address, then it's an educational based question.
Right, David gets a point. It's both, or it could be both, because it could be educational because you might need to do password reset just to try and get in and you don't know how to do it. So you need to understand where that is. Or it could be, like David says, for some reason, it's not recognizing your email address. It's not sending the password reset. I've had that myself. So therefore, you need to go through support. So it could be both.
Ah,
Right.
so Kevin, we got some results in. Francis has said technical. Diane said technical. Irish has said technical. Now look, I guess you're kind of right. Because like if you can't log in, you're not going to know the answer. You're not going to know. So you would obviously go to tech support. But Barbara has put it could be technical. So she's on the edge of the fence. So she's actually the closest to being correct.
Yeah. I would say it's both. It could be either or. So, right, let's move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, I'm flicking. God, it was
Right.
you.
So, why can't a student buy my course? So, you've set a course up. Barbara straight in with educational.
I'm not going to give the game away here. So we got quite a few people on the Facebook group. We've got Francis, Irish, Diana. And nobody's come up with an answer. Remember the 10-second lag. So Barbara's coming in really quick. She's with us, so there's no lag when she's with us. So if you guys want to jump into the Zoom session, you can answer like literally straight away. When you come
You
in,
don't have to come on camera if you don't want. We'll just see your comments come in. But if you want to leave it on Facebook, it's cool as well.
yeah, no, and also, right, if you come into the live session, you are time traveling because you go 10 seconds forwards in time. How cool is that? Educational. Kevin, the answer
Yeah,
is
I agree. It's educational. The most common one is they've either not set the pricing up correctly or they've not actually published their course. And that's not a technical question. You agree, David?
I agree. Yeah. Oh, price hidden. That's a big one.
Yeah, there's multiple reasons, but every one that I can think of is generally it's educational. They've not set it up properly, so they've not worked out how to do it right.
Yeah,
That's
and we
that.
must remember, mustn't we, that if it goes wrong for one person on this kind of thing, it would go wrong for everybody. And then
Yeah,
you would see the Facebook feed go absolutely bananas.
very true. Right, let's move on. Right, I made changes on my sales page, but when I saved it, they didn't save. So you've gone in, you've edited your page, you've updated something, maybe you've added a new block in, maybe you've changed a picture, you've gone out of it, you've gone back into it again, and it's like it was. It's like you were never there. Updates and stuff.
So
Is this a
what
support,
do you guys think?
educational, or other?
Oh, we got Diana, we got Francis. They're all coming across from Facebook because they're 10 seconds.
Hey.
They're time travelers. All right. So what do you think to that one?
So technical, Barbara's saying. Any other thoughts? Anybody else?
Technical, got a lot of technical. Educational, Irish has put, but you put both educational and technical. Yeah. Well, my viewpoint is it is both really because it can be a problem your end. So maybe a bad internet connection, it's dropped. That could be an issue. Generally, like if you save it and it doesn't work, like I said to you before, the old thing, the old adage is if it doesn't work for you, then there will be uproar on the Facebook group, right? So you could ask this, and probably the question is your internet connection. Are you seeing other sites quick and those sort of things? But if it's not saving and you keep doing it and it's just not saving, then it's going to be a technical question to ask them for sure. So I think it comes down to testing a little bit your end, making sure that you've got a stable internet connection.
Yeah, I agree. It's both. A lot of the times we get this question come in, it's people that are using the page editor often for quite one of the first times. So they're not actually that familiar with it. Sometimes people think they save it when they don't save it. That's quite a common one. But sometimes it just doesn't work. And sometimes we've had it with people where it hasn't worked. But then we say go through their process and make sure that you're in a clean browser and all of that stuff because it makes a difference. So yeah, it's a bit of both,
Yeah.
that one.
And you know, I think what happens here is sometimes when people, right, so guys, remember earlier, if you go in session one, when you first create a page and you save it, you get that SEO preview come up. And then most of you, hopefully most of you now are filling that out, but most of you click the X and you click away. Well, you then still have to save the page. And I think a lot of people click out of the page at that point, and it probably comes up with like, you haven't saved this page, but they still leave and they haven't saved it properly. So I think that can be an issue with it as well. So just jumping, hit save, jump straight out, it hasn't saved. That's kind of a common one as well.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Next question. The emails I'm sending are going into spam. Is this a technical support statement stroke question, an educational one, or other?
What we got? What we got here? I have this problem.
Diana has this problem.
Perfect.
Technical, educational problem of the customers. Oh, question. Right, any more for any more? Any on Facebook?
Spam educational.
Okay.
So we've got technical here. Right. Okay. So let's. I think with like all these things, like so if something's going is spam, it's usually if it's going out to people, but it's occasionally it's going into some people's spam box, then it can be educational because you need to be doing the right thing. You need to be email domain authentication. You need to be adding that in there. You need to be if you're on a free account, you're using Zenler's system, and that can cause it to go into spam. So we always say, like, if you're on the pro or premium, you've got your own custom domain, your own custom email, which you set up with domain authentication. As long as you're not putting words that are targeted or caused them to go into spam or the junk folder, and you've got so words like bonus or freebies or these kind of things, sign up now, they can be picked out as spam and they can go into people's spam box. So it can be a combination. It can be educational, but you could also check with support. So you could check with them, if especially if you're on a free account where you don't get that custom, you can't authenticate the domain. But if you're following the best practices for email, we've got videos on this, best practices, then everything should go into people's inbox. Remember also, it could go into promotional, on Gmail in particular, it can go into a promotional folder. And that's because it looks at the content and it looks at it. If you've written it like a promotion for something, it will go into that promotional folder. So you want to be careful with the content that you're putting in there, because it's assessed by different inboxes. Okay, Gmail, whatever, Outlook, these things can be flagged. So that's what technical support would probably send back to you. Are you following best practices? Which is, of course, an educational based question.
Yeah, I would say 99.99999% educational. If the question was the emails are not being sent, that's a support question, because that could be an issue with Zenler mail not going out. But the question is, the emails I'm sending are going into spam. And as David said, it's all to do with how we set that up. Are we educating our receivers to make sure they're receiving it okay? Are we warming up the email address as per best practice these days? And all of those things. And they're all educational. That's all stuff that you need to learn about to be able to put into practice. Right, next one. My custom domain isn't coming up properly. So you've got your yoga.newzenler.com site. That's what you've signed up for. You want to put your own domain on it. You've gone through the process. You go to put the URL into Google and it doesn't work. Is that a support question, an educational question, or other?
So France is saying technical.
Yep.
Technical from Diana. Are you guys following suit? Because you've seen Francis do it. Oh, Barbara's gone educational.
How do I fix my text, which are...
Sorry, Andrea, we don't answer these support questions. We're on topic, yeah? So this might come up later, but we're just on topic what we're talking about. That's all right. So, okay, so what do you think then? So we got in the Facebook group, domain issue technical. See, it depends where it comes from. Like for me, this is not a technical question, but I already know all this stuff and what I'm doing. So I guess if you don't know about custom domains, DNS records, MX records, any of this stuff, then your best port of call is technical, because at least they can look it over.
Yeah, and I'd agree. I think this is more leaning towards the technical side, the support side. They're very willing to help you make sure you've set this up correctly, because it's easy to make a mistake. Sometimes it's just patience. Sometimes you put it through, you go through it all, you add it all in, and you expect it to be there within about 3 seconds. And sometimes it takes a while to propagate round, right? We know that. So sometimes it's a patience thing, which isn't really support. It's just being told, just wait 24 hours or whatever it is. But moreover, it's probably, I would say, leaning quite heavily towards the technical support side of things.
Yeah, so good job, guys. Most of you were technical there. That's good.
Right, next one. I don't think we've got many more. Right. Oh, I want to change the price of my membership. And the actual full question should be, I want to change the price of my active membership. Will I didn't have long enough to put it on there. Will it affect my current members? It was too long to write on one thing, but I knew exactly what it was. So I want to change the price of my membership. Will it affect my current members?
What do you think?
This comes up all of the time.
All the time.
So support question, is this a technical thing that we have to deal with? Is it an educational thing or other? Educational.
Diana, it's written down. So, what do you think? We got one. Diana's put educational.
David, this is a really straightforward one. Go for it.
Yeah, so educational, really.
100%.
You know, it's understanding the platform. I understand why why you think this, and because they're like, does it affect the members that are already in there? But you know, our documents cover all of this stuff, and if you delete a membership and you've got someone in on a subscription, they'll still carry on paying their subscription. You can enter a new one in if you need to put the price up. So it's something that's altered all the time. It's asked so much, Kevin, this question. I'm really glad you put this one in here because this is asked all the time, and it might be worth flagging something that when you click delete to it, that it will say this information.
What's interesting is the way that Zenler platform works is we actually warn you of stuff that affects current people. And what I mean by that is if you've got someone in a course and you add in an automation, for example, right, and you add another email in, right, it will say, do you want to apply to existing users? And it will tell you, do you want it to go to existing users or just new users, right, within that course or within that funnel or whatever it is. So where we can, we do try and warn you of things like this. And because no warning comes up for this, there should be, it should be assumed that it's not going to affect current members because it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, most places in the site, if you delete something, something does pop up. Maybe that's something worth putting forwards because it is something that's asked all the time.
Yeah,
Nice. So you know
there we
the
go.
answer now. It doesn't affect anyone.
Correct. Right. So educational, that is. Right. Next one. How can I change my super admin email? So when you set your account up with Zenler and you get your main login, right? You've put your email address in, you've put your password in, you go in, you've signed up to Pro, you've got your 3 accounts on your main one that you sign in with. You've suddenly decided you don't want that domain anymore. You want to change the email address on it. Where and how do you do that? So is this something you can learn and do yourself within the system, or is it a support question or other?
Educational, we've got coming in. Iron is quick.
Educational.
We've got tech. Price change, educational on that. Yeah, that's a price. Tech.
I love the way nobody puts support. They've all put tech in. I should have changed that, shouldn't I? Well, you're all wrong because you've all said tech and it's support. No. Go on, David, what's the answer?
Well, you can. I mean, a lot of people ask this question, but you can actually change it. But what I mean, this is exactly what Kevin said. Actually, when you try and change, if you go into your own and you change it, it will send an email to that original one, giving you a verification code. With that verification code, you can put that in there, and then you can take control of it. Okay, but you've got to be careful because that email might be used in other places of the site. So it is educational, but you could ask this from a technical point of view because you are the super admin of that site, but it's more educational. It's just you change it, you'll have something come up because it's so important that you can then then you can change it with the verification code because it will send. I actually had this happen the other day with the
Yeah.
tutorial for site.
I think if you have access to your super admin email, it's educational. If you have lost access to your super admin email, it becomes technical.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that happened to me actually. about a month ago with a Udemy account that I've got where I've let the domain expire. It was old courses, money still coming in on it. I couldn't get back in. So to get Udemy to change that across so that I could do it. And it was a real pain. Zenler in every regard is painless.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of a trick one. But yeah, it could be either or depending on the actual circumstance. Right, can I clone a Zenler school? So you're on a pro account, you've got 3 accounts. Site number 1 is all set up beautifully, and you go, right, I love this so much, I want to put it onto school number 2. Can I clone it over? Is this a support thing? Is it an educational thing, or is it other?
Phone's in there.
So this will be a fully fledged school. It's got funnels. It's got 20 courses in it. It's got multiple pages in it. It's got a live schedule in it. Can you move all of that over easily onto another one? Is this educational? Is it a support thing, or is it other?
Other. Irish has put other. What is the other? Oh, it's both. The other is both.
My head is
My
spinning.
head is spinning, Francis. My head's spinning a little bit.
Gets you thinking, doesn't it?
Shall I answer this one?
Go on.
Educational. You can't do it. So if you were to put this on the Facebook group as a question, people would say no, you can't. You can't clone an entire Zenler school. If it was possible to clone it, then it would be technical support, because they would be doing that for you at this stage. There's no way to clone everything across. So from an educational point of view, this is no. You set up your school, they're completely independent of each other, and you reset them up. However, there's speedy ways in which you can copy stuff across, and if you've organized things properly with your lessons, even bulk add them all again as well.
Yeah, but there's no clone button. Like we can clone lives and we can do all stuff like that. There's no clone button for an entire site. And if you contact support, their answer will be, thank you for your inquiry, but we cannot clone your school for you. So
Yeah.
it becomes educational, can't do it.
Yeah, and Diana said that herself. She said, well, no, you've done the right thing, Diana, don't worry. I should have asked this question before I did this. I had to put the whole course up from scratch. So it doesn't matter, you did the right way. Maybe you should have asked the question, can you take parts from the other site into there, and what's the quickest way to do it? That you could have asked, and
Yep.
you would have got help, and I probably would have done a video for you as well. So sorry.
Yeah, that's an idea for a video though, because people do ask that quite frequently. So
Yeah, I think
maybe,
it is. I think it's a really good one. Maybe that's another one for a day with Zenler. Okay,
yeah.
so
Right. Right. I want to run an 8-hour live session.
educational or tech support, dev support, tech support. The Cody guys.
So think about when you set a live up, what's the maximum time we're allowed to set one session up for currently?
Barbara's put educational. Educational. Very cool. Yeah. So answer away, Kevin.
Yeah, so it's definitely educational. You need to understand how long you can run a live session for. We don't run 8-hour live sessions within the Zenler platform. If you go to support, they'll tell you exactly the same thing. So it's completely educational. You need to go in, test the live area, and work out exactly how you can achieve an 8-hour session broken up into 2 parts. That's it. Anything to add to that, David?
No, you
Cool.
hit it on the head. Yeah, it's just we do extended sessions of 4 hours,
Yep.
and of course quarter of an hour start, quarter of an hour end. So it's really 4.5. But you can't run any more, and that's why we're running these at 2. We could run them at 4, but it would kill us if we tried to run a 4-hour session without having a lot of breaks.
Yeah. Right. Why can't I see the video I just uploaded? So I've just gone in, uploaded a nice video onto my sales page, and I've gone into it, and it's come up with the black screen of death, and it's not showing my videos. Do I go on to support and go, why is my video not there? Or do I understand why through education?
Barbara's put educational. She was quick,
Yeah,
quicker. Brilliant. France is educational. Yeah, that's very good. Okay.
education, try waiting, but technical with problem. So from my point of view on this one, the upload of videos is a really erratic one at times. A lot depends on the load that's going on the system at the time, and we don't know that. So sometimes you can load a video up, it could be a minute video and it could take 8 hours to show. Sometimes you can load an hours long video up and it takes 20 seconds to show. So it's often a case of sitting there and waiting, therefore it becomes educational. The process is that if after 24 hours, I would say, and this is my opinion, David may have a different one on it, it's still not loaded up, I would delete it out, try and re-upload it. And if it still hasn't uploaded, then that becomes a support question.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. I see a lot of trouble, but from an education point, this is purely from an education point of view. I see the main reason that massive load time happens because over bloated videos. 4K videos that are only going to be shown at HD, high HD, are uploaded into the system when they're not needed. And this is common thing. So a file size of like 2 GB or something when the file size should be under 400 is constantly the case. So obviously such a big file being uploaded, even though it might be downsampled to high HD anyway, is crazy, and that of course causes a lot of processing time. Vimeo's end, who is our hosting provider. Um, yeah, so also on top of that, it depends on how many videos, as Kevin mentioned, are being uploaded by everybody at the same time to our provider. And this is the same with any kind of provider. If it's a heavy load, it takes longer for everything to be uploaded. So it's a matter of waiting. But personally, I don't have that. If you've got a very fast connection, internet connection speed, it can be much quicker because it's like upload speed. If it's a very slow, erratic internet connection, you might have a fragmented file, which means it might never show. And then, as Kevin mentioned, it might be better to delete and re-upload. So making sure if you're doing lots of lives and uploading lots of content that you've got the fastest connection without breaking the bank that you can afford is of course important. Also, for you guys that are using VPNs, try turning your VPN off when you're uploading, because that will also speed up, especially if you're using a free VPN, which is much slower and in some cases doesn't even allow you to stream properly. So be careful of that. That's something that could cause a problem. And it is a case of waiting. The other thing is that just refresh your screen. You know, hit F5 on the keyboard and you might find that it's already loaded. That happens a lot with me. I see it. It shows the little bars. It hasn't uploaded, or it's processing or trouble processing. And then I hit F5 and it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. So that, in a way, educational based, it's just a matter of waiting. If none of your videos are uploading and showing, then you need to contact support. So why wouldn't the video have been shown on a public page? It also might be because the share options on that video are set for logged in users only instead of for anyone. Okay, so that's another reason that it could be as well. So I consider this to be a little bit of both, but more educational.
More educational, definitely. And if you're using the bulk upload feature, which is phenomenal, really good time saver, just click it and walk away for a few hours. Just let it do its thing, because I've done it before where I've uploaded 30 videos and it does take a while, right? So yeah, just click patience. 90% educational, 10% support on that one, I'd say.
Fabulous.
How do I remove the Zenler partner badge? Is it
Educational or technical support?
So do I ask support about this because they've got to do it, or do I need to learn it and it's an educational question?
So I think pretty much everybody's got quite a good. The people that are in here have got a good grounding, but you guys are regulars. I've seen you before. We want the people that are asking these questions to be in here.
Right, we'll move on from this one quick. It's purely educational. It's really easy to do yourself. So if you're not sure how to do that, then it's literally just a few clicks of a button and it's gone. You don't need support to do that for you,
Except if you're a free user, then you can't turn it off.
except if you're a free user and you can't turn it off. And therefore, it's still educational. It's still not a support.
Oh yeah.
You're stuck with it.
It's stuck.
Right, is that it, or we got more? Right. I am a free user and want to buy more email credits because we limit the amount of email credits people have. Is this and it can apply to paid users as well. So you get a certain balance of email credits that you can use, whether you're free, pro, or premium. It just goes up as you go up the scale. You've used them all up, and you want to send more emails that month, so you want to buy more credits. Is this educational or is it support?
Everyone's saying educational. Yeah.
David?
Yeah, absolutely educational. If you know what the plans are, what your plan consists of, you'll know that we don't supply add-ons or bulk-ons to anything. You know, it's just that's how it is. So you can upgrade to premium to get more email credits, but you can't have them bolted onto, say, the pro plan, for instance.
Yeah. So yeah, educational on that one. If you don't know how to upgrade, it may be a support inquiry. How do I upgrade my account to the next level to get the extra credits? But yeah, you can't buy packs of credits.
Yeah, and that's it. I think Kevin's got some more, but I'm running out of time.
There we go. So well done, everyone. I think what it does is it just opens up our eyes to some of the questions that come in. I would say probably 80% of those questions were educational questions, and they're all questions that have been asked this year. So it just highlights for me that, you know, our role here as educators is really important, and that we continue to educate and help people find the information they're looking for and that they need. And that's the whole point of doing all of these things. Even a day with Zenler is exactly the same. It's all about getting people to understand a little bit more about how Zenler works, whether it's day one for you or day 100,000 for you. Can we live 100,000 days? I don't know. I'll have to do my maths on that one. Some clever person will tell me how many years would I be to be 100,000 days old? I don't know. We must have a mathematician. Where's John when you need him? He'd work that one out.
Sure.
But yeah,
sure
so it doesn't matter. We're here to help you, and it's just an ongoing process of learning this stuff and understanding. The more we understand, the better we get, the better we serve our students, right? So that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, exactly. So great, guys, we're moving on to tips and tricks bit now. So you can stay in here, guys. You can ask questions in there. I've turned off cameras and mics because the only person that has it on is Kevin there, because I'm going to be sharing my screen. So just make sure you can see everything clearly. Let us know in the chat if that's the case. Kevin, yeah, you can audio talk. I don't know if it pops up, but it should all be okay. So what I want to do is I want to now jump to our tips and tricks. So this is our tips and tricks. Here we go. This is tips and tricks. So tips and tricks is all about things you can do to speed up your workflow. It's also about talking about, and I'm really glad Kevin's in here for this, talking about some simple marketing strategies that you can put into place. Kevin's going to look after, let me just spotlight. There we go. So I should be front and center in front of you. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at some things going on in here. Okay. So normal site. So how can we speed things up on jobs that we're working on. So for instance, I just want to show you a few little tips. I've set up this course. Now this is going to be really good because in session 3 we're going to be doing a live build of a community, and I wanted a course in place, so I thought this is a great placeholder. So simple tricks for speeding up your process for doing this. I've jumped in here and I'm now jumping into the pages. So inside the pages, inside of the healthy lifestyle course, I'm going to set the sales page up, and I'm going to show you a series of tricks that help you to speed this all up for you. So if I go into the editor here, the first thing I'm going to do is you're going to notice that the editor, when you click it, opens up in a new tab. This is going to save you a lot of time because it means you can still jump back to all of the others. So when you grab things like URLs, it can be really quick for you to access. The site's taking a bit of time to load. I hope it's not going to be a problem. Taking very long to load. So is it a technical question or is it an educational question? No, it's probably just slow. So just give it a bit of time here and see what happens.
It's put an extra pound in the meter.
I got 300 meg connection. Right. Okay. So this is the default. This is the default page that you've set up. So I want to show you like quickly, like this is our course card is here. It's something like this. So if I take my time and I create something like this, we can create something like this really quickly. So I'm going to be speeding through this, guys. So it's not a page build so much. It's just showing you quickly. I'm dropping an empty block in here, and I'm just setting in a different row size in here, and I'm going to drop in a heading tag in here, and I'm just going to have a look inside here. So now I want to drop in a button. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get that same kind of image going across. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, guys, so it's not going to be perfect, but I just want to give you the impression for the next phase of this. So if I go in here and put 300, I can round that off and I can drag it above here. All I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this button, and I'm trying to look like this as well. So food healthy, and this is delicious. So inside here, I'm going to put something like delicious. So I'm basically building this out. Okay, so delicious in there. It's a button, but I'm not going to use it as a button. And then I want to put that kind of pinky color in there. And then we want to say food healthy. I want that color. It's a black color in that background. So I'm going to choose this. This is just to show you how quickly you can kind of get this effect to happen in here. So we're going to go in here, going to choose that. Just put in here healthy food and choose something like extra black, like size 5. I'll clone it. Food. So in that color there, I'm going to select that kind of color. I'm going to change that spacing here. I want it tighter to this edge. So placing top, I'm going to put -20. It's going to push it up closer. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time. I'm just showing you basically the kind of how it works. I want to go 65 there to make that a bit bigger. And then I could get that image. I could take that image from Canva and I could drop it in there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add the image in there. So let me grab it. I've got the image already. Okay, so it's in there, something like that. So you can put something in like that. That's good. That's my course front page. So I maybe then want to put text under that and design this. So pretend I've designed all this page out, okay, using that same kind of thing. So now what I want to do is I want to start to get this design into the other pages, because we've got a sales page, a checkout page, a thank you page, a course access page, and you don't want to be designing all this stuff all the time. So you've got two options here. One is you can save this if you are on a pro and premium plan, which I can do here. I can put in here food block, and then I can reuse that. Or the quicker way, you can save it, so you've got it in your data bank there. You've got it under blocks down here, and you've got it down here. You can see it's the last one. Okay, you can reuse it. Or you can go to the block, the blue block, open up the little tab to the little markers. You can press the control key, hold it, press A, press the control key, hold it, press C, and then we save this page out. And then a quick way of updating all these pages, make sure you do the SEO, is you can go in and you can start opening these up. So I can open that page up. I'm letting it open while I'm opening the other page. So I'm just jumping back to it. So all these pages are loading. This is saving me a lot of time. So this page is loaded first. This one will go. It doesn't really matter to me. And then I can drop that block in. So I can go into here. If I want to keep this, I can keep it. Or I can replace the code in it. So I can go in there, select all, Control A, delete it out, Control V. And then I can put that straight in there. So now I've designed this page really, really quickly with that block. And I can continue to do that. You see how fast that happened? So inside here, I can go, okay, I want to grab an empty block, drag it into there. So I'm showing you a few different ways, replacing code, dropping an empty block in and putting in there, click save. There you go. I've got my block in there. And finally, the last way, remember to do your SEO. The last way to do it is to go and use the custom block. If you're not a free user and you're a paid user, you can do this. You can drag it up and drop it straight. Time saving technique. By the way, guys, I found that when you drop the block, sometimes the background color doesn't match. Sometimes that's to do with applied branding. But if I click save now, I've now got my pages all sorted out really, really quickly by opening lots of tabs. Okay. So that's a really good way for you to get this kind of stuff going. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is the blog. So that's how you can speed up your workflow. So imagine you've got all your pages open here and you can just make up blocks, drag new blocks in because you're straight in. I've got all the course pages open. I've got the sales page or the access page. I've got the thank you page. I've got the checkout page. A lot of people, what they do is they're on this page and then they click in here and then they go down to the next one, the next one, the next one. Too slow, miles too slow. You can just go to here and you can open these up individually and it's really quick. And because you've got this page opened up, you can grab URLs. So if you want to put a button in another part of the course, you can go in. So if I wanted to drive people straight from another page into here, I can click copy URL. So I've grabbed the checkout page for this course. Are you with me? Give me you're with me. I'm just in one course. So I've grabbed the checkout page. That's this page here. I've grabbed the URL for that page. And what I do, this is another tip. So pretend I've finished with my pages. Let's close those pages down. And I'm going to show you how you can jump page. So I copy the URL there. And then I don't want to lose this page because I'm working in my course. Then I go over site because I'm now going to go into pages. I right hand click and I go open link in new tab. Right? So what this means is if I click link there, I would drop out of the courses area, which is taking me time. I've got to go back to courses. I've got to jump into the course. It's going to take me 2 clicks to get back to where I need to, possibly 3. I haven't got time for that. So I've now gone to site pages. I can go into the pages. I can go, right, okay, on my home, where's my home page? My home page here. Let's just edit this page. Drop that link button, which I grabbed from here, okay, or the sales page, up to you. Wait for this page to load. And inside here, I can then send people to that course. So remember, this is the page I built in part 1. So I can come in here. I can grab a button. I can go to the options for that button, go across to settings, choose action, go to the link and drop that button in there. I could even open it up in its own tab. I'm going to click save. Right, I would obviously style all of this. So let's preview this. It will jump straight through to my checkout page. There you go. Look, bang, I'm in the checkout page. There you go, of that course. And I've not lost the course page that I'm efficient. So this is what I love about it. It's really good to work with. Now, let me show you another thing that's really good. We're talking about speeding your work up. We're talking about being comfortable and familiar with the platform. But there's something else that you need inside here, and that's these buttons. Because at the moment, what we're doing is we're linking from place to place. But say we want to put a discount. Say on this homepage, we want to offer them a special 50% off. So let's put in here, get 50% off. So a special deal. Okay. So this is the sort of marketing side, you can send this link out that we're about to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a coupon, and that coupon is going to be applied to this button. So they're going to go to the checkout page, and that coupon 50% discount is going to be taken off. I did the same thing for the Black Friday sale. So what I do to do this is I can now go into my coupons page, and inside here I'm going to add a coupon. So I'm going to go into coupon. I'm going to call this HL50. Okay, I'm going to put it for a particular product. So in this course, we'll do it. Let's do it for all courses. It doesn't matter, but you could do it for a specific product if you wanted to as well. So if I go in there, healthy living, let's do it a specific product. And I'm going to go percentage, I'm going to go 50% off. Now, I could take 50% off, or I could do 50% amount off as well. They would be the same thing. You could also limit it, and you can set an expiry for this as well if you want to. And if it's a subscription, you could apply it for every billing or a certain amount of billing periods, like a month, or you could discount for the first billing only. So I'm going to add it like this. And what we're going to do, we need to select a price plan. So we need to select the price plan. Yes, you can apply a coupon on a particular price plan. So we're going to click yes, back to what it was before. So if I remove this now, click update, and we go back to this page. Let me just go back one and refresh it. Then you'll see now that that 50% will not be added to that page. So if we go into it now, it's applied the coupon. It's because it's actually remembered it. But that's how it will go back to that. Okay. So it hasn't got that coupon link. You can see if I mouse over it, it just says down here, this bottom area, bottom left, you can see it says test equals buy no coupon. So it's now removed it from that area. And if I was to do this in incognito, you would see that. So let me just show you in incognito. It won't be applied anymore because I've removed it. So I'm going to go in there. We'll go into this. I'll hit the button and the coupon will not be applied, which is HL50. So let me just let this load. And then what I want to do, because this was all featured in what Kevin was doing for the Black Friday and the New Year's deal. We did this, didn't we, Kevin, in that? If I click that there, you're going to see it's going to go through and you won't have that applied to it there. However, if I redeem the coupon, which we've already got is active, and I put HL50 in there, then it will take that amount off of that price. Okay, it's taking a little while to load. Maybe I've got things loaded up. That's another thing as well. Just telling you, when you see things spinning like this, it means it hasn't loaded yet. So a lot of people have got a tendency to click around or say it doesn't work, but it's just because it hasn't finished. You want to wait for that little spinny thing to stop, and then it should all work. So if I put HL50 in here now, it will redeem that coupon off there. You can see that there. So that's how you can do it. That's how you can directly add. And you can do that from any button or any link in your site just by adding that question mark equals and then coupon, the rest. So there you go. So you only added the 50% off to the link. Yeah, it's actually not off to the link. It's actually generated by the coupon. Yeah. So by the coupon that you set how it's generated. So this link that it default sets up goes to the sales page. If they use that coupon, it saves it, right? It saves it in its memory. So whenever I now click through to buy this, it will save that coupon because it's in here. Look, see it's added it to the end. It carries it on. It moves it over. So that means anywhere that you use that question mark coupon equals and then the coupon name, HL50 in this case, you can use that at the end of a link going to a checkout page, actually going anywhere, because if you go in there, it will save that and it will carry it on through. So that's how you can use it. You can see it's been put in campaigns that you could run to start to generate your business. One of them is your site. So in your site, if you're a Pro Premium user, is there any free users in here? Can I ask that first? Because I'll give you a solution if there's some free users in here. No? You're all pros and premiums? Good, right. Well, I'll show you anyway. But blogs. If you're a Pro and Premium user, set up blogs. Start using the blog part of your site. Okay. because these are a really good way to start generating extra traffic. So if you look at this blog that I've set up on here, you're going to see that I have subscribed to my blog here. So this is a dummy site, okay? So, but inside here can be really valuable content. It's also search indexable. So it means search engines, it will appear in search engine results. So if you start getting a lot of blogs coming together, you start to get them appearing on the search engines and you get more traffic. So a site that's got search engines. So because people are ending up on your blog page from search results, you don't want to lose them. So you want to be making sure that in all of your content that you have a way for them to sign up, like here, way for them to sign up, like here, subscribe to my blog. So they can subscribe here, subscribe to my blog. So they can subscribe here and get on our blog list and and then you can warm them up and send them emails and these sort of things and give them special offers inside the blogs themselves. So you'll see in here, here's one, for instance, courses run on Zenler. So you can click that and you find more information. You've also still got the subscribe in here. So are you guys using blogs? Who's got newsletters set up for it? Who's not using blogs? It's very quiet. Are you guys not yet but want to? So you understand, Diana, you understand, and Barbara's about to start. Brilliant. What I want you to do, there was some homework in session 1. This is homework for part 2. I want you to start your blog. Adding is a form, and I've put a form into the template. I'm going to quickly show you and then we're going to kind of wrap up because we're getting near the end. So if you go into your blog, you guys that are going to start this, go into your blog. This is where you set your blog up. I don't really need to talk about that. That's how you set a blog up. But the pages that show the blog are the blog post page, which shows the post itself, and then the blog, which contains all of the blogs that you've got on your site. Okay, so in this case, it would be the, where is it? It would be this main page here. Okay, so this is like the category page. Now you can style the top and bottom in 2 templates. This is the blog one, and this is the post one inside here. Okay, so the post one. You can style these pages by going into blog settings here. And down here, you're going to see blog homepage. This is where all your blogs show up. And this is the individual post. Now, the individual post pulls the content in from the blog. So if you make a change on the blog page, it will appear on the blog page. If you make a change on the post page, it will appear on every single post. So if we go and edit the blog post page first, I'll just show you. I'm just going to close this stuff down, getting in the way. This is my familiar with. You can go and change this. So inside here, for instance, I've got this header that I've changed, and you could delete this out if you wanted to delete it out like that. And down the bottom, all I've done is I've added a form. So you can easily set up a form inside Zenler. You can go to down to your form blocks or your elements here, and you can find form in here, and you can drag a form in just into an empty block, and you can set it up like that. And what I would advise you to do is on that subscribe form, go to the submit button, go over here and call it subscribe to my blog, but tag them. So add a tag in here, newsletter sign up, okay, or something like that. So this way you're going to see people that have come in, you've tagged them because they've come in on your blog, but they haven't bought a course, okay, and that way you can filter them later by tag. So if I put that in there, anyone that signs up for this now using this button will be tagged with newsletter. So I know that's where they've come from, and that's how you can set it up. And if I make a change to this, it will appear on the main blog post.
It's really, really easy to do. And it will help you. It's not going to get you on the first page of Google or anything ridiculous like that overnight, but it will certainly help you be found a little bit more than what you are right now.
Yeah, definitely. And on top of that, think about doing a video blog as well, putting it on YouTube, and then inside that YouTube channel, link to your blog site. So link to that article. So what you're trying to do is I've said this many times before, you're trying to create a spider's web. And I always look at it that a spider that hasn't got many threads doesn't catch as many flies. So the bigger the network, the bigger of cross connections that you've got. And this is why you do things like internal, internal links inside your site. It's why you try and get people to feed in to your site as backlinks. And it's why that you start using things like different platforms, like social platforms, to also tie into your site, because you're building out a literal spider's web. And the bigger the web and the more connection, a nutshell, really, isn't it? Shouting about your in those things, but use the power of Zenler to do that. It's got it built in there. Like, Kevin himself spearheaded getting the blog into the Zenler platform. I don't know if we would have one now if Kevin didn't mention it in the first place. So that was put in there, and it's put in there. You should start using it. The other thing I love about blog is if you are doing them as pages are great, but you get a lot of pages. You can put it into categories, so it makes it easier to find as well. Yeah, so
Yep.
question often comes up, Kevin, is builders? Absolutely, it's content. Doesn't matter what the platform is. Really doesn't. It's all about the content. You got good content, you're on Google search engines, then you'll be found. And I never okay, WordPress has got Yoast, but Yoast you still got to write it in the way that it picks up. I mean, all Yoast does is go, oh yeah, you're red, amber, or green. You still got to do the work. So
Problem with things like WordPress and Yoast and all that is there is such a thing as over optimization.
yeah,
You can forget the core functionality, the absolute base of everything that you are meant to achieve within a blog post is to write for a human being to read it, right? Google now looks for the human element of the writing within a page or a blog post, right? If it sees you trying to put in unnatural content because Yoast has told you to put your keyword in the first paragraph, second paragraph, third heading, whatever, it will go, this is unnatural. This doesn't flow conversationally, which is what it's meant to be. So if you read out loud your blog post once you've written it, if it doesn't sound like it's a conversation you would have with someone, then change it, right? Because you're better off losing keywords but making it conversational than you are stuffing it with keywords and having Google assess it as over optimized.
yeah, and we talked about that earlier actually, about the fact that keyword stuffing, and that's really what it is, over optimizing, just stuffing it full of keywords. And you got to remember that that's probably the key thing about AI. AI, they're so conscious of AI content, and that includes video, that they're going to look even more for that human element. So it's never been more important to have your own authentic voice. And this is why we say to you, using tools like AI is amazing, don't get me wrong, but don't let it be the narrator. You know, it's a tool that you use. It's not your voice. You're very particular. Everyone's got their own quirks, and people are drawn to that. If you just do what AI produce, you'll be like everybody else that is just using AI, and it's going to affect you, I think, a lot in the future. So be careful with AI. Use it as a tool. Don't let it run you.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is where, and just to add on to that, this is where the open communities are going to become really, really powerful within Zenler because they're findable in the search engines, and by its very nature, a community is conversational. So if you look at things like Quora and stuff like that, and Reddit, which are basically communities that are open to the public, you can go and find people talking about a topic there. That's how Zenler's going to work, right? The Zenler community feature when it's on an open one. So I know you're talking about communities later, but it's not going to replace blog posts because they're shorter. The conversations in a community, they're not going to be anywhere near as detailed as a blog post would be. But the benefit of having both running is going to be huge because you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I mean, the thing is, we have Kevin's actually running a workshop. He's going to be running a workshop, and it's going to be a lot of sessions. We're going to go really in detail. What we're going to do in the live build is I'm going to show you how to build a community. So I'm going to take you through all of the aspects in it in 2 hours, but that's going fast. Okay, that's going quite fast. With the workshop that Kevin's running, we're analysing, running through each little bit so it's absolutely understandable. And Kevin's also going to get you to work along with us to be part of it, to start creating your own. You're going to want people to have results at the end of it, aren't you, Kevin?
Yeah, it's just about making sure you set yourself up the right way. You know, and we're going to start right at the beginning with that workshop, you know, right from the idea, the conception of the idea, and then looking. So we'll start with the end goal in mind. What is the purpose of this community? What do you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve it? Why are people going to want to get involved? And all of the planning aspects before we do anything in Zenler.